గచ్చిబౌలి హైత్ హోటల్లో టీ హబ్ రెండో వార్షికోత్సవ కార్యక్రమం జరుగుతోంది. దీనికి రాష్ట్ర ఐటీ పరిశ్రమల శాఖ మంత్రి KTR చీఫ్ గెస్ట్ గా హాజరయ్యారు. ప్రస్తుతం KTR మాట్లాడుతున్నారు. లైవ్ లో చూద్దాం.
These two are extremely creative people, Academy Award winners. I mean, it would just be, your good fortune to be sharing some breathing space with them, right? Sitting on the same podium would be a delight anyways. Unfortunately, I missed out, but I saw the video later on. A.R. Rahman looks around the tea hub, then he goes, "This is a government office? This is a government-created building?" And then somebody said, "Yes." And then he goes, "I like this government." The point I'm trying to make is, it just, so many of these comments, so many of these amazing testimonies really do make you feel proud. I remember Satya Nadella coming in, saying, if government is willing to create infrastructure like this, if government acts as an enabler, then truly the ecosystem is only going to prosper, ecosystem is only going to do well. I can go on and on about what many other people have said. As Jayesh has pointed out, Niti Aayog looks up to T-Hub as a model worth emulating by the rest of the nation, by the rest of the country and remaining states in India to truly evolve and truly support innovation. But I do remember one very specific event at T-Hub of which I was a part of. I think it was the IFDI, Innovate for Digital India. It was a program which was also co-sponsored by Intel and a number of other, knowledge partners, and also Department of Science and Technology, Government of India. The member secretary of DST, Mr. Mittal, was also at this event, and he spoke eloquently. This man can really tell a story. He's brilliant. He can share wonderful personal experiences. He can talk about a bunch of things that just, a very compelling storyteller. So he went on to narrate a bunch of things, but one thing that stood out in my memory, he complimented T-Hub not by, the cool swanky interiors, not about the cool swanky interiors or the kind of creative geniuses that there are or the kind of effort the government has put in or on any specific aspect such as that. He said, and this is the Department of Science and Technology saying, not me. He said, T-Hub in fact had that catalytical effect. In fact, we call our building catalyst. It exactly, I think it's self-explanatory. I don't need to elaborate on that. The catalytical effect T-Hub was supposed to have on the innovation ecosystem of Hyderabad is represented in the fact today that we have David Bergvinson of ICRISAT, the Director General, who has launched his own iHub focusing on agri-tech. We must have somewhere in the room, I'm presuming, the LV Prasad Eye Institute's Srujana Center for Innovation, which focuses on eye care and ophthalmology. We also have, I'm pretty sure, somewhere a gentleman or a lady from CCMB, the Center for Cellular and Molecular Biology, who have launched their own Center for Innovation. I'm pretty sure there must be some representative of the IIT Hyderabad, the chairman himself is here, of course, IIT Hyderabad, who again launched in this very room a healthcare-focused incubator. What has happened as a result of T-Hub in the last 2 years is nothing short of phenomenal, because T-Hub has spurred and has created and has acted as a catalyst in creating the largest number of incubating spaces for any city in India today. And this is not me saying it, this is Department of Science and Technology's Member Secretary, H.D. Mittal himself telling us. 17 incubators, unlike any other city in India, and focused exclusively on certain verticals. The Software Technology Parks of India, STPI, has launched what is called as IMAGE, Innovation in Animation, Gaming, Multimedia and Entertainment. We have somebody in agri-tech. We have somebody focused on eye care. We have somebody else focused on healthcare. And that's exactly what Dr. BVR was referring to when he said domain knowledge. I think we need domain experts. We need our farmers to be helped by ICRISAT by way of, those disruptions that we talk about in agriculture. How the real common man on the ground, the common farmer on the ground, by way of this rural innovation, by way of this social innovation, can actually be helped. I think it's been a fascinating story if you go on, to talk about the other things T-Hub has achieved. Dr. BVR also talked about market access. I'm happy to share with you. Government of Telangana has already thrown open its doors for market access. In fact, we've been working with a number of startups from Hyderabad, whether they are a part of T-Hub or whether they're from outside of T-Hub as well. I can recount two ready examples that come to my mind. when it comes to market access to startups in Telangana. One example that I can recall, which has been a fascinating success story. There is a startup called Radical Tribe. They reached out to Jayesh Ranjan. They said, sir, we've identified a pain point for the common man on the street in Hyderabad. We would like to address it. Jayesh was very curious. He said, what is it? They said, today if you travel on a motorbike or a car on the roads of Hyderabad, you could be stopped by the police. You'd be asked for three things. You'd be asked for your driver's license, a registration card, an insurance card. Now we found a solution. If you have a smartphone and if you help us connect to the police department and the transport department, we can develop an app which enables you to store all these papers in a digital format and which then can be read by the police and the transport officials, provided they play along and provided they work with us. So we facilitated it. And today, guess what? We have this app. It's called the RTA, the Road Transport Authority M-Wallet, mobile wallet. It has been downloaded more than 1.3 million times by Hyderabadis, and it was developed by a local startup called Radical Tribe. And the story gets better. I think 6 months later, Government of India reached out to us, Ministry of Surface Transport. They said, we are fascinated by this. We want to emulate it across the country. Now, we've given them the know-how, and they're, I think, going to spread the story across the country as well. Goes to show you what you can do, provided you give the market much-needed market access, as you've mentioned, sir. I can think of another example, a T-Hub startup called Banyan Nation, right? They're into waste treatment, waste management. I believe they've just been given an order, I think a few days ago, in a couple of municipalities in Telangana to try out their own waste management solution. That goes to show you how adept and how easy it has been to work with Government of Telangana in ensuring the pain points of the common men, common women and common citizens of our state can be addressed by the startup ecosystem of our